Record now, and clap in 3, 2, 1. Hello. We've just discussed that Richard likes semonade.
Yep.
You tried saying lemon, and you said semen, which could be misinterpreted as semen, which I thought was very, very funny and very, very mature.
We are adults. That is the quality content you can expect from Copilot's podcast.
Speaking of quality content, we got 2 cracking episodes to talk about. What? Sue me. I made a good joke.
I'm just surprised that that's the first time either of us has made that joke in this recording.
I made a joke yesterday that was so good, I actually screamed in the kitchen because it was so good, right? So Lisa was looking for some. We'll get to the podcast intro in a bit. Lisa was looking for some golden sweetener, right? And she was like, "Oh no, we've only got white sweetener. We haven't even got any golden sugar." And I said, that's the thing, Lisa. The white sweeteners, they're very, very common. The golden ones, Demerara." And I gave myself a high five because that is a fucking good joke.
That's fair. I really enjoyed my response to your suggestion of a new job for yourself.
That was very, very funny. Job application. What did it say? Midway, and you just circled it and sent it back to me. Before I even saw your comment, I'd spat my water out all over my desk. Good. Cracker. That's what we're doing, isn't it? The US UK version of Cracker. They're actually both quite good. Where are we? We've got a website. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah. Copilot's podcast.
Real Copilots.
Before you say something weird.
The
website doesn't have real in it.
Because it's not real. It doesn't exist.
It's not secure.
We're on social media. So there is a real Copilots in there somewhere. I'm sure there is.
Yeah. We're either on it's Instagram, I think, is Real Copilots podcast.
And on Twitter, we're just at Real Copilots.
Yeah, but on Facebook and somewhere else, we're Copilots podcast. But if you just want to listen, you don't want to read whatever it is we actually put up on social media, just listen on whatever platform you found us on this time. Just download them all. And then I see the numbers go up and I get very excited. I think we're famous. And then the next day it comes back down to 1 and I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's...
You've been busy
nice.
Reposting all the co-director stuff that we did a couple of years ago where we looked at directors' first films, didn't you? That fell on its arse.
Yes.
But we discovered some good stuff.
Would you... have you know, the stuff that we've already released is doing better.
The thing is, right, I recorded those and I know that they're of a poorer quality. Like the actual recording quality.
Not anymore.
Was rubbish. But
I was tempted to, instead of calling it Co-Directors Archive, I was going to call it Co-Directors Remastered, and I was like, now that implies that the audio quality has gone up dramatically.
I did. I was looking through for a DVD to watch the other day because I've not looked through my DVDs for a long time, and I did come across my DVD of Ratcatcher, and I just felt sad because that was horrendous. That film.
I was moving stuff around and I found the disc. I was like, oh.
Anyway, listen to us talking about Robbie Coltrane.
Yeah, don't go anywhere. It's going to be great. Music.
And clap in 3, 2, 1.
Well, this is nice. Well, it looks like you've just got me, guys.
I was seeing if you thought I'd dropped off.
No, because I can still hear faint whirlings in the background.
Oh, that's a shame. Faint whirlings?
Yeah.
That was the name of my band for a short time.
I'm trying to think of why, but I guess you just like fans.
I am a big fan. Hey.
Well, thanks for listening.
This is the very last co-pilot you'll ever hear. No, it's good. This is a good one. We got some good ones this week.
Yeah. What I like is that they're not carbon copies of each other
Yes.
entirely.
No, it's good. So, Cracker, that's what we're doing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I thought, because I think pretty much every single UK, US one we've done, it's the same story told across the water.
Yeah. Well, in this one, it is a later episode that they've ripped off.
Oh, but they do still do the same story, do they?
I think they throw in. So I think it's the season 3, episodes 22 and 23 of the UK Cracker that they base it on. But I think they throw in all of the relationship drama stuff from episode 1.
Yes, that rings a bell. Probably a good
Ooh,
idea.
Paul Abbott, he made Shameless, I think.
There's a lot of names in it that I'm recognising. The UK one.
He did. And obviously, the main difference is obviously that one is set in America and one is set in the UK. And obviously, LA and Manchester are basically the same thing.
place. Very much so. I mean, you've spent more
I
time
don't
in
think-
Manchester, so I couldn't possibly.
But that's the
comment.
thing, I don't think they ever explicitly say this in Manchester.
I think they do. Because I seem to remember.
Oh no,
thinking,
he does say Manchester Victoria at some point.
That's right. Yeah.
But it's never like a,
Because it's the
you don't see like a welcome to Manchester
no.
sign. Because they're already in Manchester.
That's
Those
what
signs
the,
just aren't in the middle.
the train goes from Wigan to Manchester Victoria. That's what he says, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of a more depressing train ride in either direction.
Which one do you want to start with?
Well, should we start with the original
Right,
and then talk about the hack?
So yeah, Robbie Coltrane, obviously Hagrid.
Hagrid. And other characters, I'm sure.
He was a Bond villain in 2 films, except he ended up helping him in The World Is Not Enough. What else is Robbie Coltrane? He did that drama around the time of Savile, didn't he? There was that drama, National Treasure, where he played a radio DJ who was being questioned for being a little bit noncy.
Oh, the noncing. Yeah, he was in Stormbreaker as well.
Who's he in Stormbreaker? Oh, he's not Smithers. What's his name? No, that's Stephen Fry.
The Prime Minister?
Oh yeah, no, because Stephen Fry is the Q guy, isn't it? What's he called? Smothersby or something.
Smithers.
Is it
I
Smithers?
think it's just Smithers. Yeah. I think so. We should do a TV show of that at some point.
Oh yeah, because there was one, wasn't it?
Because they do Point Blank rather than Stormbreaker.
It is Smithers. That's a weird one. Maybe because Stormbreaker has already been done.
Yeah. Oh, he's in a lot of things.
Oh, Mr. Green.
But yeah, and then the important bit, he was Hagrid.
Yeah, that is the most important thing.
It's like blah 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 Hagrid.
Brave. Oh yeah, of course he's in Brave. I watched that actually a little while ago. It's very good.
It's good.
He's
I know.
in probably
Have I seen it?
my
Yeah, I've
favourite
seen it,
Bond film he's
probably.
in, because he's in GoldenEye.
Ah, yes, the one where Sean Bean dies, surprisingly.
Oh, apparently in 2006 there was a special called Cracker 9/11.
Yeah, I
Is
think it's a
it?
documentary, isn't it? Oh no, it's a film.
That's weird.
Oh shit, I want to watch that. I think I was missing the lines out. I was
Whee.
misaligned them. He was the host of a true crime thing, which sounds like my sort of thing.
He was in The Young Ones as well. He's
Yeah. Oh, he did Blackadder's
he's
Christmas Carol. He's been
around.
about.
I think
He's been
he's
about.
mates with Billy Connolly as well, or at least he was at some point. Anyway,
Well, I mean, I guess it makes sense.
in
Scott.
he is. So this is the thing. I thought it was called Cracker because I thought his name was Cracker. So when they started calling him like Fitzgerald, I was like, this is very, very confusing. But yeah, he's a bit of a.
Why is it called Cracker?
I guess because he cracks the cases. Not that we've seen that in either version. So
Yeah.
far.
Oh, I think it's because every episode is a two-parter.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Ugh.
But because they're all two-parters, I was like, we can watch the first half of one, and then neither of us will ever see the second.
Actually, to be fair, what with it being like designed as a two-parter, it does leave it on a good cliffhanger-y bit with Hastings.
Yeah, which was obviously, it's always a nice surprise to see a line of Judy.
He looked very young in it, didn't he?
Yeah, this was over 20 years ago.
Oh my god. Okay, so here's the thing. Oh, that's weird. Hang on a minute. So there's only 3 episodes in series 1. That's
No,
not
there's-
right, is it? Oh, there's 3 stories. But 7 episodes. How does that work?
The second one's a part 3.
Oh, a 3-parter. Oh yeah, that in series 2, I think there is a character who's played by oh fuck, what's his name? Plays Begbie. What's his name? I can picture
Robert
him.
Carlyle.
Robert something. Robert Carlyle. That's it. Yeah, and apparently that was like his first role, and he was really, really scary in it. Apparently,
I mean, yeah, I've seen him as Begbie, so...
that is fucking the scariest thing he's done.
Then
I
he
suppose.
has also done Rumpelstiltskin, which does really take the edge off Begbie.
Yeah, I mean he is in 28 Weeks Later, and he does become an infected and beats his wife's face in, which is kind of shocking.
Yeah. But yeah, Cracker, murder, good murders, like murders.
Doctor Who's in it as well.
Yeah,
isn't he?
looking just like a young Time Lord, because he's got the big leather jacket that he wore in Doctor Who as well.
That might just be his. Like he insists on wearing it in every film he's in.
Yeah, they managed to get him to take it off for Dark World though.
Why is that? You got to put the elf head on, so lose the jacket. Oh,
Yeah.
all right then.
Well, if I don't wear a jacket, how will people know it's me? Keep the accent; they'll know. But yeah, like the thing is, a lot of people look young in this. Robbie Coltrane doesn't.
He looks the same, doesn't
Yeah. I mean, it's weird seeing him clean shaven, but you know,
he? He's still alive, isn't he? Yeah, he's 71. Jesus.
yeah. And to be fair, it's impressive that he's made it that far, with how much he smokes in this. Because
He
there
does smoke it
there are a
ever
couple
such
of.
lot.
I don't know if it's continuity, but there's one where he's on the sofa, he lights a cigarette, gets off the sofa, takes 2 steps across the room, and is nearly done. I'm like, oh, you smoking like that? A one-toke king.
I did start watching that Clarkson's Farm, just to go on for a bit of a tangent about smoking. And in it, he says, "I've smoked 750,000 cigarettes."
Yeah, it's quite a
I
lot.
was like, that is wild. But I guess like if you're on, let's say you do 20 a day, I mean, that would add up, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Jesus.
To be fair, Clarkson has one of those jobs where there's probably a lot of time to just you're just
Stand
sitting there
around.
waiting for stuff.
Yeah. But
But
yeah,
is
so
it not
he's
weird seeing people smoking like public
inside?
places?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like just on the fucking trams.
I can remember like when the smoking ban came in, like chatting to my dad, and he was like, "We're going to look back on stuff like that, and it's going to be mad that we ever allowed smoking indoors." And
Yeah.
he's absolutely right. It does look really weird. But yeah, so
Yeah.
he's an alcoholic. He smokes. He's addicted to gambling. He goes off on a
that's
bit
the-
of
I
a
think-
drunken rant, doesn't he? And I was like, this is sailing a bit close to the wind. And then he made the point of, yeah, but while you're off giving lectures on feminism and stuff, you're paying your cleaner £3 an hour. So that's not great, is it?
Well, that's the thing. Is there's a bit of it. You're like, your heart's in the right place, but you're a dick.
Yeah.
Because I think the first 15, 20 minutes of this episode, nothing to do with the crime. It's just making you not like him.
Yeah.
Which is a weird way to go for the
Pilot.
yeah, but then at the same time there's a little bit that's like, oh, they're setting him up for character growth, or setting him up for a spiral to have some
Yeah,
character
a real big death.
Yeah. Oh, you can't kill Robert Carlyle if you want to bring him back in 2006.
That's very
Robert
true.
Carlyle, Robert Coltrane. Same difference. Same accent.
The trouble with this murder case is the prime suspect. What's he got?
Amnesia.
He's got amnesia.
So-
what's my least favourite plot device in anything?
Did the fact that they all thought he was faking it help?
I was like, hang
help
on a
in any
minute.
way?
Well, no, because I was like, well, I mean, be fair to the guy. He might not be lying.
Yeah.
The fact that they're so dismissive of a mental thing, though, it's like, oh shit, this is really showing.
Ah,
his
yeah,
age.
it is the 90s, isn't it? But then at the same time, when he's talking about the essentially the amnesia test that he did, the multiple choice thing, and you're like, it is statistically unlikely for you to get every single question wrong. And I was just like, if you ask me most of those questions now, I won't know the answer. It's like, oh yeah, you got the was it the Chancellor wrong? I'm like, I don't know.
Chance for the Exchequer.
Yeah, Tory cunt probably. Who's the
leader
late?
of the Labour Party?
Yeah, Tory cunt probably. Yeah, that's the thing. I've got the leaders covered, unless you ask me about anyone apart, anyone who isn't the Tories or Labour. If you ask me about any of the others, no clue. But it's the thing. I think this, because normally amnesia is used for the main character, where I
Yeah,
think,
haven't
and that's
used
where I
it
sort
on
of
the-
I agree with you. I don't like it as a way for the main
Way
character to
in.
have to learn everything to explain it to
Yeah.
you. But I like that because this does just kind of throw you in and just goes, yeah, look, he's already had a career, and at this point he already knows that he's good at this shit, analyzing people and making them admit to crimes, or just I don't know what he does. I guess we'll find out in episode 2.
Yeah, I did find it a weird introduction though when he's oh that's something that confused me. He's on the phone listening to the radio somehow. I didn't know that was a thing. And then he goes into a lecture, throws a load of books at the students, and goes, right, that's that then.
Yeah,
And I
Which
was thinking I would be very, very annoyed at my student loan if my lectures consisted of the people standing at the front chucking books at me.
yeah, but at the same time it looked effective because everyone was coming up to him and was like, "Oh, I really enjoyed the lecture. I got a free book."
That's true. I suppose you take what you can get when you're a student, don't you? So
Yeah, because all those books aren't going to be cheap either.
no, I mean if particularly
Although it's the 90s, so probably.
if well I don't know, cleaners get paid £3 an hour, so
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought it was a very strange introduction. But like you said, yeah, I think I get what you said about amnesia being used on a side character, not the main character. It's like, okay, well, fine. But how many shows have we watched where it's like the opening thing is, oh, they can't remember who they are. They've got I just don't care. Because then nothing
Yeah.
matters. Because it's like, well, it could be anything. And it just pisses me off.
But that's I think what I like about the way that they used it here is that he's so obviously the one who did it, and if he
but is
does have amnesia, Well, I've read the synopsis for episode 2, so
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Well, just ruined that one for me then.
Yeah, so I just sort of, my eyes flicked down. I was like, oh, he gets outed by a priest, which is a weird.
Oh, that's because he says, "Oh, who?"
Probably turns back to her and just goes, "Yeah, but he knocks his kids." And it's just like, oh, which one do we take down? Well, it's the 90s and the priest can work for the BBC.
Chris Ferguson's standing there looking at, well, fucking both. Why have we got to choose?
But that doesn't make good telly, does it?
I do take your point as well that they said they do a lot of character stuff rather than the crime stuff. Like there's that really mad scene where he just goes into his son's room, just screams at him, and walks out.
Walks out just like, oh, get a bucket of water, get a bucket of water. It's like, all right, cool, mate. I'm just gonna lock the door, you nutter.
I did quite like it though.
Yeah, that's the thing. I've seen bits of episodes before, and some of the stories that they do are mental. There's a scene that sticks in my mind that's like, it's my only real image in my head of not Hagrid Robbie Coltrane, and he's just smoking, like chain smoking in a church, just monologuing about how he knows someone did it.
I suppose you're all wondering why I've gathered you here. It's probably about the murder, isn't it? It's about the murder that happened this morning. The Fitz.
Yeah, but it's just it's good, and I do like that they show you enough of the crime investigating stuff before he's involved, so that you're up to speed, but not so much that you're like, oh well, I've got a pretty good idea of like how this is gonna go.
Yeah.
But he's not as involved in it as I expect him to be, based on watching the US one.
Yeah, no, because he's like super involved.
But then I guess so. I get big swinging segue. I guess he's a much later version of the Robbie Coltrane character, essentially. So he's so this is based on something at the end of season 3. He's like 20 some odd episodes in to his character arc.
Yeah.
And that's where they based the crime bit of the story from. But partnered up with the season 1 wife stuff.
Yeah. I did really like it. Like for something that's, made in 1993. It is alright.
And also, especially with the American, for something that, because the American one's from 1987.
Really? I'd have put it as more recent than that.
Yeah,
Jesus.
and but that's the thing. It's something that I was probably never going to like as much as the UK version, which is annoying. Because I watched it first this time, so I didn't bias myself going in.
I did exactly the same thing. I watched the American one. I think we'll switch to the American one now, shall we? But yeah, I watched the...
Did you not hear when I said massive swinging segue?
No, I wasn't listening.
It makes for a good podcasting. It's fine. Neither's anyone else.
Yeah, so it's fine. Yeah, I did exactly the same thing. Because I've always watched the UK one first. And here's something that is weird that I just read. Robbie Coltrane shows up as a villain in the US one.
Yeah. Because he's top of the special appearances of yep. But you're also him.
That's really quite weird.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that he was involved enough in the remake to be in it, or if I'm just like, nah, keep it separate.
I don't think it really matters.
I don't know if it would make many of the remakes better.
I'll be honest, I don't think there's going to be a massive crossover audience.
No, although have you seen all of the... So on the UK Cracker on Wikipedia, it's got all their viewers listed, but it's only showing American numbers, and Cracker did big American numbers.
I was surprised by that. It's something ridiculous, like it's 22. It's like over 20 million.
The lowest episode is episode 2, with 16.9.
That's mad numbers, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's the thing. They even came back in. That's in '96. 2006. Not so good due to your attention.
Here's something weird. So this remake was broadcast as Fitz in some countries, including the UK. So if you just finished with, Cracker was great, wasn't it? Yeah. What else is on? Oh, there's an American thing called Fritz. Put that on. Be like, this is weirdly similar.
Yeah. I remember the story and I remember all that stuff that is going on with his wife, but they don't line up. So it is weird because in both he's already, I feel, established as like a criminal psychologist who has worked with the police. But it feels more obvious in the US one because he already has relationships with the police.
Yeah, there's a bit of rapport, isn't there? I do wonder, maybe they shot. Oh no, maybe it does introduce him quite well, doesn't it? I wondered if they might have just like shot them out of, shot the entire series and then gone, let's actually cut this up and put this as our first one.
I don't know. They do. That does happen, but I get because it has all of the setting up what his family life's like, and so I guess I know young Josh Hartnett.
My God, he's got a very strange smile, isn't he? He looks very weird.
Yeah. Apparently Josh Hartnett lives in Surrey. I live in Surrey.
He is in Penny Dreadful, isn't he? That's when we last saw him, and he was actually quite good in that.
Yeah, is that the last thing I've seen him in? I think it might be.
Yeah, well, it's that and Pearl Harbor, and I don't really know him in anything else.
He's been in a lot of films. I'm looking at the list. It's a lot of films. Lucky Number 7.
He's in The Virgin Suicides.
Oh, is he just one of the boys?
Trip Fontaine.
Wait, is that the kid who gets like knocked out at the start and then just isn't in it anymore?
I don't really remember The Virgin Suicides. He's got like long-ish hair, it's like down to his shoulders, and sunglasses and a leather jacket.
I think he gets punched in the face quite early on and then just isn't in it anymore.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Yeah, but it's good. I think weirdly, the US version does a better father-son dynamic than the UK version does.
Yeah, but I guess like because his son is targeted in the bit.
Well, I suppose they I guess are also maybe jumping ahead with where the father-son relationship is, rather than the UK one's just sort of being like, the relationship's not the best, but it's not the worst. Like, it'll probably be fine. Oh, look, he's been kidnapped. But to be fair, I think the murders in the first episode of the American one is a much more interesting first episode.
Yeah, it does grab you a bit more, doesn't it? Like, do you know what I did really like is when she also Sarah Paulson, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, she hasn't aged in 20 years.
No.
It's bizarre. But when she kills the guy with the van, there's that really good bit where it builds up tension because he stood by the cliff trying to push the van and she's just sort of rocking it back and forth. And you think, oh, she's going to nudge him off. And then she doesn't. I was like, oh, okay, fair enough. But that was a nicely done moment. She just reverses into him and you hear his head like dung against the back of the van. He disappears there. I really wanted there to be a dent where his head had been. I was really disappointed when there wasn't.
Yeah. What I liked is that they're all very calm until they find that guy. They're like, oh, she's just murdering, like, we can say it's like more predictable, and it's just like, oh fuck, she just killed a random.
Okay, now we have to take it seriously. But also,
He's doing a podcast. Well, that's the thing. If that was made today, he would be doing a podcast, not a radio show.
That's definitely true. The lieutenant in the police thing, it's the fucking guy from Full Metal Jacket, and I just can't see him as anything else.
Yeah, but I thought that about Robbie Coltrane, and then he shaved his beard off. I was like, "Yep, no, you could be anyone."
You could be shaved Hagrid. Yeah, I did really, really enjoy the.
That's the thing. I think
the American one,
as something to be in my head as good as, but not better than the UK version. This is probably the closest I think we've got.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh no, Shameless though. I did really like Shameless.
I'm wondering if I might, just by a shade, prefer the American one.
Yeah, good luck watching any more of it.
Yeah, no, that won't be happening. But Jesus, I did really, really like it. I really like the story that like he gives you first see him giving the woman advice, and then he's giving the other guy advice, and he goes, "Yeah, that's what my wife said." He's like, "You fucking told my wife to leave me," and he realizes that he's the psychologist.
Oh fuck.
That was cool. Yeah, I really liked it. I thought Sarah Paulson's like, she's always good, but it is weird how like she looks exactly the same 20 years on.
Yeah, Hollywood be like that. I guess also you can just be a healthy person. You don't have to live in Hollywood.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I liked LA as a stand-in for Manchester as well. I thought it's finally some justice for Manchester. Or if an American just goes, "Oh well, they did these two shows, the Manchester and LA. I guess they're like the same. I'll go on holiday to Manchester."
Oh, you would. I don't think you'd be too pleased with that.
No, but you could go to Liverpool and see where the Beatles did stuff.
Woohoo!
Or, more interestingly, you can see where they filmed some bits of the film yesterday.
Have you watched?
Yeah,
that?
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought.
Yeah, I like it more than the Beatles. That's the thing. It was great. I know enough of the Beatles to get by. I know that they owned a submarine or something.
Yeah. No, they contributed to the nuclear arms race actually, so that's why they had the submarine.
Oh, that makes sense. So that explains why one of them was a sergeant. I guess Mr. Pepper.
That's it.
Was the sergeant in the group? So he probably drove the submarine.
Do you have sergeants on submarines? You must do.
No, I don't think so. I think sergeant's like an army rank, and it wouldn't fly on a boat.
Well, nothing flies on a boat.
Well, it's just an inverse plane, isn't it?
Do you know the difference between a boat and a ship?
Apparently, size matters.
Yeah, you can launch a boat from a ship, but you can't launch a ship from a boat. And do you know where I learnt that? The Friendship Onion, which is Merry and Pippin's podcast, which you should listen to. It's very good. You'd like it a lot.
I know. I've listened to some.
Oh, well, that's
specifically the episode where they had the other Hobbit.
Oh yeah, that's a two-part of that one.
Yeah, the second part isn't very much Elijah Wood, but
no,
but it's still good.
No,
they
have
some fun stories.
I'm really enjoying
it.
Yeah, I am really enjoying it.
I just basically like hearing celebrities talking about dumb shit they're doing, because then I just go, I could be a celebrity if I was famous. Because then I could tell people my dumb stories.
And Jesus, do you have some?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I normally tell them with you as the main character. So.
Should we? I think we need to come down on either. Do we prefer the UK or the US version? What are you saying?
I think. I don't know. I can't actually choose because they. That's the thing. It's a lot easier to choose when they've just done the same episode.
That is very true.
Because I really like the crime side that the American version took, but I like Robbie Coltrane. Couldn't they have just taken the gruff Scotsman to America and just made him do it again? But in America.
No, because they just spend half the time saying like, "Hey, where's this?" And they're like, "Sorry, what are you saying?"
And then just like
there's been
you
a
speak
murder.
really, you speak really good English.
Fuck off. I'm actually, for the first time, I'm coming down on the side of the Americas. I prefer the US version. I done said it. What are you gonna do?
I'm going to phone the Brexit police and you're going to be handing in your passport.
Oh, they can fucking have it. I don't want to be a part of this country anymore.
Well, enjoy that honeymoon.
That's alright, I'll apply for a Belgian one or something. I'm sure that's a viable option.
Belgian just turned around and goes, no, you don't have enough X's in your name. Because I'm assuming that's all citizenship is.
Do you know what? That is strangely
Constant.
That is exactly how it does work in Belgium. It's a very strange system, but it's the only one in the entire world where they do take in, you know, what letters you've got in your name.
Oh, that makes sense. I imagine the one for the Netherlands is especially specifically if you're like, I would like to be based in Amsterdam and have a Dutch passport, and they go, oh, sorry, you don't have 3 X's in your name. You can't live in Amsterdam.
I think that. Well, it's on all the signs, isn't it? I imagine.
Yeah.
Having never been
I've
to
never
Amsterdam.
actually been to Amsterdam.
But yeah, I imagine it's everywhere. So, now, the next episode we're going to do. This is a big one because my mum has been telling me to watch these shows for about 5 years.
Oh, really? They're on there because I thought it was funny.
Yeah, so Cucumber was 2015, and then Banana was also 2015, I think.
I'm interested to find out what they're about.
Can you not have a guess? I'll give you a clue. Jack would know. And it's written by Russell T Davies. What do you fucking think it's about? Aliens! It's a spin-off of Doctor Who.
Ah, okay. Oh, I thought Banana was just bananas in pyjamas, but during the
Bananas
daytime.
in suits. One of them's a corporate lawyer and the other's a barrister, and they take these very seriously, thank you very much, even if they are bananas.
And then they get home and they put their pyjamas on
And go
then they're a kid show.
fucking nuts. That's noncy as fuck. Imagine if we outed the bananas in pyjamas as nonsense.
It's a public
Did they have
service.
mates who were teddy bears? They were always chasing teddy bears, weren't they? I'm now going to YouTube.
Well, better teddy bears than children.
Well, I think, you know, the bears could have been allegorical for something. Holy shit, they've been CGI'd. The bananas in pyjamas have been CGI'd. This is atrocious. Okay, I'm actually watching the intro to Bananas in Pyjamas, and they're running down the stairs. So yeah, bananas and cucumber.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
It's going to be weird.
Russell Davies, he's a sign of quality, isn't he? So he was on Brett Goldstein's podcast a few weeks ago, and it was brilliant. It was really, really, really very good.
Oh, I'm glad. Sorry, I'm just sending you a link that I found.
That's fine. It's not like we're in the middle of something.
Yeah, but it's very funny.
I mean, this is great. Oh, God. Oh, that's horrendous.
Yeah, but it's funny.
Right. We'll see if I'm not explaining what that is.
No.
We'll see you later.
Yeah.